Have you ever wondered how elevators are tested? Yeah, me neither, but guess what? This building here in Bristol, Connecticut is where all elevators are tested. It's a 38-story building, and they do controlled elevator crashes. Pretty fascinating. Huh. Never thought there'd be such a place. Hey all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the north, more specifically Bristol, Connecticut. And I've created kind of a personal goal of mine to see every operating wax museum in the United States. And I'm getting pretty close. But one that was pretty mysterious to me was the Witch's Dungeon, which I'm standing in front of right now. This is possibly the most exclusive wax museum, the hardest to catch with hours. It is open for 12 days out of the year. It's open Friday, Saturday, and Sundays in October. And it's only open for 3 hours a day on those days. So I've come here to see it. Apparently it is somewhat of a event. They have a gathering every year here. They have a tour through the wax figures. They watch old movies. They have some old movie props in the lobby. So this should be an experience. Follow me. Don't scare me, don't scare me. Don't scare me! What? What? Don't come up behind me, come on. I'm sure we appreciate it. The lobby here is actually full of real movie props. This is the Metaluna mutant from the island Earth.
This isn't screen used, but it is got the
It's the original idol that was actually used in Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's amazing. It's a life cast of Bela Lugosi. This was the Beast mask from a Hallmark Beauty and the Beast movie. Oh wow, yeah, E.T.'s moving there. And apparently this is actually the screen-used E.T. head that was in the basket. That is mind-bendingly insane. It's an original head mask from Creature of the Black Lagoon, wax bust of Lon Chaney. This was actually used in Mars Attacks. That is crazy. This is Henry Hull's The Werewolf of London.
Mr. Price. No problem.
Life cast of Vincent Price. This is the aged makeup from Little Big Man. That's
Dustin Hoffman.
Dustin Hoffman. That is nuts. This is the spinning headpiece used in The Exorcist. Is actually used for the head spinning effect. There's Mr. Hyde. And here's some original face masks from Planet of the Apes, one of my favorite movies. Oh, look at these masks from Beneath the Planet of the Apes. These were the guys that worshipped the nuclear bomb, and their faces got all melty from hanging out with the nuclear bomb. Boris Karloff headpiece. Here's a Godzilla head created from the original mold. And then a stop-motion armature from King Kong. Check out this witch puppet here, that's amazing. Now, there's no video allowed in the actual wax chamber, but you are allowed to take photos. So I will see you on the other side. Alright, so we take a guided tour through the Wax Museum with some very colorful guides that kind of explain each wax figure, what movie they're from, and who played the original character. This is one of the mole people from the Mole People movie, which is a movie I've not heard of. And here we have, of course, a classic, the creature from the Black Lagoon, Bela Lugosi's Dracula, obviously a classic movie. And here's the original Fly, the Fly movie, not the Jeff Goldblum version, but the original version. Man, that is creepy. Now here's one that I've never heard of. It's the abominable Dr. Phibes. Apparently, the Dr. Phibes gets in some sort of horrific accident, and he cannot speak, so he creates a machine, a gramophone that he hooks to himself in order to communicate. And apparently he's off to get revenge against the surgeons who did this to him. Here we have a very dapper, well-dressed Wolfman, and of course another perennial classic, Frankenstein. And yes, I call him Frankenstein. I know people in the comment section like to say that Frankenstein was the doctor, but you know, think about it. He is the doctor's son, so they share a last name. They're both Frankenstein. And the movies, they called him Frankenstein anyways. You know, the Bride of Frankenstein wasn't the doctor's bride, it was the monster's bride. So I'll get off my soapbox for now. Here is a version of the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. Get a close-up look of him there. Pretty creepy looking. Of course, Boris Karloff's famous role in The Mummy. Here we have the Phantom of the Opera along with the Mask of the Red Death. Of course, the Phantom of the Opera, very, very ghoulish without his mask. There's a close-up of the Mask of the Red Death. And we have a less dapper Wolfman strangling out a woman. Oh, and look who we have up here, top of the stairs. Maleficent, one of the classic Disney villains. And here's one of the OG film vampires, Count Orlok from the film Nosferatu. Of course, always confused. Is his name Count Orlok? Or is it Nosferatu? Maybe, you know, his first name is Nosferatu and his last name is Orlok. I think that's what we'll go with. And of course, very fitting for a wax horror museum is Vincent Price from the House of Wax, a horror movie based around wax figures. I've not seen it. Apparently he gets deformed from wax and goes on revenge. I notice a lot of horror movies are deformed people seeking revenge. I think this is a pretty obscure movie. Professor Lampini's Chamber of Horrors. The guy was saying that it's about a traveling sideshow where he actually has the skeleton of Dracula with a stake in its heart. And then I tried to find out more about this movie. It actually does seem to be pretty obscure. I could not really dig up a lot of additional information, but sounds pretty cool. Little monster toys. It's a creepy crawler kit where you can make little bugs. Remember, it would like get really, really hot. It's a Frankenstein toy. It's a recreation of the Hunchback of Notre Dame. This is the Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein version of Frankenstein. Oh, here's the Golem from the 1920 German film. It's a mythical Jewish monster that comes to life from clay. It's a unpainted mask from Carras, the Mummy. Alright, thank you for joining me here at the Witch's Dungeon Wax Museum. The Wax Museum that is only open 12 days out of the year, 3 hours at a time. A very cool collection of vintage old movie monsters. Some amazing movie props in there. There's the golden idol from Indiana Jones. There's the head of E.T. from the basket scene. The head of Linda Blair from the spinning exorcist scene. So very, very cool stuff here. If you'd like to see other places I've been, please check the interactive map in the description. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider buying a t-shirt. Consider donating to Patreon. A $3 or more donation will get you a postcard once a month. But for now, this one's in the bag.